Did you know that Einstein's concept of time isn't the full story? Buckle up for a mind-bending journey. We've all learned about Einstein's theory of relativity in school, where time and space are intertwined in a mysterious dance that impacts everything from GPS systems to the fate of our universe. However, what if I told you that our perception of time is a completely different beast? Science has recently uncovered facets of time perception that may leave even Mr. Einstein scratching his head. Imagine your brain as the director of an elaborate movie, the story of your life, unfolding second by second. But here's the twist. Your brain isn't perfect. Sometimes it skips scenes, repeats moments, or speeds up a sequence. This isn't mere clumsiness. It's a result of perceptual processing and neurological developments we're just beginning to understand. Enter Dr. Lisa Monroe, a leading neuroscientist at the forefront of time perception research. With an ardent passion for unraveling the mysteries of the mind, Lisa's journey began with an ordinary experience: waiting. Like all of us, she'd experienced how a few minutes waiting for a train could feel like an eternity, while hours with a loved one could disappear in a blink. Driven by curiosity, Dr. Monroe embarked on a mission to decode these anomalies. Her research reveals that our perception is closely tied to attention and memories. She discovered that when we engage in an event-rich experience, our brain stacks up chunks of memories, elongating our perception of time. In contrast, mundane events blur into a single memory with little marker, making them seem swift and fleeting. Consider this. Your first day at school or your wedding day probably feels longer in memory than a random Wednesday surrounding chores and routine. Why? Because of the density of unique experiences. Dr. Monroe's team found that when we hyper-focus on moments, we notice more details, hence perceiving time as extended. But she didn't stop there. Influenced by historical anecdotes and scientific observations, she started experimenting with volunteers in isolated environments. Volunteers placed in rooms devoid of external stimuli reported bizarre fluctuations in their sense of time. Some thought days had passed when it was only hours, and vice versa. This confirms that time perception is inherently flexible, molded by our surroundings and mental state. One of the most remarkable findings came when she explored emotional states. Stressful situations, such as near accidents, seem to slow down time. Dr. Monroe hypothesized that our brains switch to a high alert mode in such scenarios, processing information faster to allow for adequate responses, thereby perceived time stretches. On a practical note, this research offers hopeful pathways for managing stress and improving mental health. It also presents opportunities for enhancing learning and productivity. By crafting environments and stimuli that alter time perception, we could potentially optimize how individuals engage with their tasks. So, there you have it. While Einstein taught us about the dimensions of time with space, the uniqueness of human experience and perception shows time is not just a tick on a clock. It's a fluid dimension painted by experiences, psychology, and emotions. It's a reminder to appreciate each moment, knowing they don't just define our schedules, but also shape our recollections and reality. Next time you find yourself caught in a mundane task, try adding a splash of novelty. Your perception of time might thank you for it. Join us for the next episode as we dive even deeper into another thrilling revelation about the world we live in. Remember, science is always ready to surprise us. All we need is to remain curious. So, the question remains: how will you perceive your time today? Reflect, cherish, and explore. The clock is ticking, but now you hold the power to redefine your reality.